Hello, good afternoon. Super Sunday is upon us again, and welcome to the continuous coverage of the Ghana Premier League. We're live on TV3, also live on Unia TV, and we're also streaming live on Adasa Plus. And it is a big one here from the Barbara Sports Stadium because it is home side Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and they are up against Basake Holy Stars. You remember that Kotoko tasted defeat for the first time this season at the hands of the same side at the Ampane AAK Sports Arena a couple of weeks ago, and this time they are in for not just a 3 point, but then for vengeance as well. My name is Josiah Okokwe, and it's always a pleasure to come your way with every edition of the Ghana Premier League. Today we have a big one, like I said, Basake Holy Stars. They are yet to win away from home, but then they go into every away game with the hope that they could snap that unwanted streak. Don't forget to stay up to date with every news from the Ghana Premier League. You can follow us across the various social media handles on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok. It is Ghana Premier League. On X, IG, and then also Snapchat, it is Ghana League, and you would get all the news you want related to the Ghana Premier League. I wouldn't be doing this alone. I've been joined by a very fine gentleman. He is one of the best in the business as well, and it's always great to have him at pitchside. I'm here with Jeffrey Asari at pitchside. Good afternoon, Jeffrey Asari.
Good afternoon, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm not used to this weather, Jeffrey. No.
Well,
it's too dry.
It's part of it. So you just have to get adjusted to it.
But how are the team's going to cope? It's dry.
Well,
like you said,
I mean,
humidity
yes,
very be
So there'll be a lot of rehydration. They need to have a lot of water at the pitch side so that when they dry up, they can get a lot of water to drink.
Interested. But let's zoom into the discussion. Match day 20, and it's a business end, as many will say. The match week started yesterday at the University of Ghana Stadium, and you would have predicted rightly that Accra Hearts of Oak would be, a force to reckon with, especially coming up against the worst, side in the league. But were you surprised by the scoreline? Hearts of Oak scoring 3 times in the game for the first time this season?
Well, let me say, not too surprised. Look, Hearts of Oak are one of the few teams in the Premier that create a lot of chances. The problem with Accra Hearts of Oak is lack of conversion and clinical finishing. And so when the opportunity comes, and then also when you are playing against the most lowest ranked team in the league, 11 Wonders. And yesterday, look, Maoli Wayo, he's been having chances and wasting them. He scored against Ohwe, against Vision. He was the reason why they won those games. So he started a brilliant goal by him. And then Martin Karakari, I'm happy that at least one of the players that waste a lot of chance, him and Hamza Issa, he had a wonderful goal, Martin Karakari. Yes, goalkeeper Hadi Ajay made a terrible mistake, but the most important is to punish Martin Karakari got that. And then a penalty by Osesi. But Hamza Issa, you watch the pass that Maoli Wayo gave Hamza Issa, empty net. I mean, but for me, the most important is that they've gotten they scored 3 goals, scored goals in the game. That's the most important thing. At least it means that they are gradually improving on their scoring rate.
But it was a game that you'd say they could have won by a bigger margin. 3 was okay, but then looking at the standard and how, they've been, the lack of quality in finishing, you think it would come back again if they don't build upon this?
Well, the most important is to get a win. You have to always make sure that you are improving. It's always work in progress. Improving upon what? You should not be excited because you scored the lowest bottom team 3-0. No, you should be excited that you've won, but you need to improve and be better because you are going to Bechem next week. How are you going to fare in Bechem? The game against Bechem is going to be a difficult game than this. So you need to make sure constantly you are improving, you are working at the training ground, perfecting it over a period of time and making sure that you are practicalizing it when match situation comes. So it's always work in progress. The players must learn to improve match after match when it comes to conversion.
So that's Accra Hearts of Oak yesterday at the University of Ghana Stadium. They got a comfortable 3-0 win over bottom-placed 11 Wonders, and that pushed them to within 5 points of league leaders Mediama Sporting Club momentarily. You're still watching the live coverage of the Ghana Premier League Matchday 20 game. We're building up towards Kumasi Asante Kotoko and then also Basake Holy Stars. But then we'll be headed for a commercial break. We also had an interview with Ghana Premier League legend Lai Kinson, and then also we head for that break. We'll be right back.
during my career, it wasn't even in my mind that I wanted to coach. I wanted to stay away from the game, do something else. But after I retired, I tried to just get up, change, come to office, sit, manage the business. But I did it for some time. I said, no, this is not for me. Anytime I meet Tom Vernon, owner of Right to Dream. You know, Tom coached me at Olympics and Arts of Folk. He's seen me as a player, so he prompted me that when I'm playing, even in the Black Stars, I'm calling shots. Hey, even though I'm playing, I coach also. And I was like, okay. Then he said, oh, you give it a try. And then one thing he had to it was like, hey, but you can't do anything else. And I said, why? My coaching is just 2 hours, you come, do. He said, oh yes, I know, it's 2 hours, but there is more to it. You can't do something and then be coaching as well, unless you devote your time. And now it's making me crazy. I can't stay without it. I can be in the midst of people somewhere, that friends sitting, but I'm thinking about the game. The reason is the game will leave you if you don't match up. My philosophy is to attack. I believe in attacking the opponent box well and defending my box well. My team doesn't play more than 5 passes in the middle third. You have to be in the opponent half or you are defending the box. So imagine the pass goes there. What do you think he will do? He's going. Yeah. Where is the space? There. So that's when the 8, he doesn't stay here. You have to do what? You have to make that deep runs so that you can find him. If I lose the ball here to him, can he come and put pressure? Can he go and counter press? Can he go and counter? So in as much as we want to attack, we position ourselves in the situation whereby if we lose the ball, we are closer to counter press, win the ball and keep the opponent. I cannot end my coaching career without coaching arts. When opportunity comes and it's right, I will take it. I'll take it with full hands. Like, I'll be so happy. I'll be so happy.
Great Olympics legend, Accra Heartbrook legend, and former Black Stars player Lai Kinson featuring on this edition of the GPL history. There we still build it up to match day 20 fixture here at the Barbara Sports Stadium. Kumasi Asante Kotoko and then also Basake Holy Stars. But let's quickly go through the results. Got it. And then also the fixtures coming up. Most of the games would have started by now because we have a couple of 3 p.m. fixtures already. But then our featured game for today is Asante Kotoko taking on Basake Holy Stars. So that's how it looks like. Yesterday, Accra Heartbrook, they got a 3-0 win against 11 Wonders. That has seen them push to within 5 points of league leaders Mediama. You have Asante Kotoko taking on Basake Holy Stars. Obviously, our featured match for today. Mediama will be at the TNA. They'll take on Kerala United. Dreams will be up against Young Apostles, Samatex, Nations FC. There's Bechem United, Heart of Lions. Hohoi United will be at the Hohoi Stadium and they will host Vision FC. There's Brecum Chelsea up against Bibiadi Gold Stars at the Golden City Park in Brecum. Then to the Swedro Stadium in Swedro will be All Blacks taking on the Giana Football Club. Mouth-watching fixtures coming up in the Ghana Premier League. Let's take a look at the standings. 2 teams in focus. Kumasi Asante Kotoko currently 5th. And a win for them today will put them on 35. And then that would see them closing on Mediama. That's if Mediama fail to win in their game against Kyla. But then Mediama top Heartbrook after that win on 35. BBL Gold Stars on 33. Diana on 32. You have Samatex, Heart of Lions, Kyla, and Dreams FC making the top half of the table. Now to the bottom half where you have Swedro All Blacks and Nations FC both on 24 points. Now Basake Holy Stars, and you can imagine what a win would do for them today because they lie in 12th place. And Jeffrey, how crucial will a win be for their away side today?
Too crucial. If only they will be able to do that. Too crucial because where they find themselves 23.12 on the league log. If they pick, they'll go 26. They are playing Brecum Chelsea. Trust me, they won 5 games at home. They'll win that one and they'll move to 29. That'll be very crucial for them. And then gradually will be coming out of the relegation. So that 3 points for Basake, the 3 points in this game, if they are able to. A difficult one though because of the situation Kotoko find itself. So it's going to be very important if they are able to nip the 3 points.
All right, so Jeffrey believes it would be crucial for Basake Holy Stars. Don't forget they have a score to settle with Kotoko because they inflicted the first defeat, Kotoko's first defeat on them this season at the Ampin. But that's their rival. And let's focus on the Porcupine Warriors now. And, you know, how they've not really been able to get results here lately. They've dropped points here. Heart of Lions 0-0. Recently, it was Bekum Chelsea. That goalless stalemates in a game where they should have won, Jeffrey.
Well, Kotoko have been playing unlike Asante Kotoko. Unlike Asante Kotoko, Kotoko have dropped 4 points at home. 4. Mediama, Adriana, Heart of Lions, Bekum Chelsea. That is not Asante Kotoko at home. Then their performance after the Confederation Cup 6-1 loss to Wydad Athletic, they come home and beat Karela 4-2.
Yeah.
The only 2 sparkling performances Kotoko displayed this season are Babara Sports, Karela 4-2 and Bechem 6-0. Apart from that, it's been very bad performance from the team. Last week again, Gold Star, the second half performance was good. I mean, hitting 4 shots for goalkeeper Emmanuel Kobe to pull out, excellent save, brilliant. But Babara Sports, the conviction of performance has been below par. So they need to make sure they lift up their performance today, scintillate the game, let the supporters be excited. They should play and win, score. That is what Asante Kotoko is noted for. But what they are playing now is unlike Asante Kotoko in terms of the quality and the delivery that Kotoko is noted for.
Interesting. But you look at their last 2 games. Yes, they've dropped 4 points, in their last 2 games. A goalless draw against Bekum Chelsea and then a goalless draw against at the Dance Park against Bibieri. But these are 2 different performances, you'd say. And which of these performances should they actually tap into? And that should serve as a motivation for them heading into this game.
They should tap into the last 20 minutes and then the second half of the Bibiani Gold Stars game, because that was quality performance. I mean, scintillating performance, combinative play from Lord Amwa to Saka Dawda on the right, and then you have Peter Mido on the left, and the excellent performance Prince Bedu in the second half, where he was making sure of picking the 50-50 ball and making sure of relaying the passes precisely and intelligently. And then you have Dogo, who had brilliant 2 strikes, and then also Morafin Dozo was free with great movement and touches. So for me, they should tap into the last 20. They didn't start well. It was Gold Star that started well. But the last 20 minutes of the first half, the entire second half, they did brilliantly well. So they should tap into that and up their game, because they are against a team that did not only beat them by 2-1, but a team that is threatened by their position, who need valuable points at all costs. So they need to up their game to be able to pick the valuable 3 points into the second half.
Let's talk a bit about playing at home, because as you rightly mentioned, they in 4 games at home this season, they've dropped points against Heart of Lions, a goalless draw. Now they had to fight back to claim a point against Ediana.
Yes.
Then in that game against Mediama, they were 2 down. They came back. They rallied from 2 down to draw 2 to pick up a point. Then against Bekum Chelsea was a goalless stalemate. So every time they've dropped points, it's either a goalless stalemate or they fight back. So how would they react to conceding first in such a game?
Well, it will be very interesting, to see how that happens. Because if you look at Karela, Kotoko went up by 2 goals and then they considered before Kotoko went up again. So it is very important that they take the lead. But and if you watch what Mediama did here, the 2-0 up before they came back, and Adriana, clearly when Kotoko conceded their first, the story is that they end up in a draw. So that is not a good thing for them. So if Basake, and I know Johnson Smith was a former assistant, he knows how to go about this match at this venue. When they get a goal first, they need to work a lot more. Every game has its dynamic. They can win the game when they go against a goal down. But the problem is that they've not proven that so far. You understand? So today, there's all to play for. He's maintained the same lineup against Gold Star, which for me, I think is good, because there's consistency in that. And also the performance in BBN Gold Stars. You and I know that when you go to the dance park, Gold Star plays so well. So if you're able to up your game better than them, it means that in this game, all you need to do is make sure you are consistent. The supplies in Gold Stars was excellent. The supply must still come today from Hubert, from Peter Midwakwa, and from Saka Dawda. It was brilliant. The supply, the Dogo and Morafin Donzo need the supply to feed up. Without the supply, they can't do anything.
But he also mentioned Johnson Smith, the head coach. He's familiar with the side, because he was with Nations FC not long ago before taking this job. Is familiarity actually what would be his trump card in such a game?
He's an experienced coach. He understands the stage. He understands this work. He knows what him is. A former assistant coach for Asante, not even once. So he understands the dynamics of him playing here. And as experienced coach as he is, if the players will listen to him, he will give Kotoko a good run for their money.
All right, so we're still building up to our Sunday special game from the Babara Sports Stadium. Kumase Asante Kotoko, they are hosting Basake Holy Stars, and there's quite a lot to play for. But let's take a look at the lineups for both teams. Jeffrey, it's Kamara in post, obviously. It's the same starting 11, but then you look up front, and that's where the the focus will be. You
Dogo
have Dogo
Morofin.
Yakubu and Morifin Donzo. Yes, they both failed to score in the game against Gold Stars.
But at least they provided 4 shots on target.
Is that promising?
Oh, that's promising. At least the most, but the shot should be hitting on target. Yes, you want it to be behind the net, but when he's hitting target with time, it's not all that the keepers can grab. I mean, maybe to the goalkeeper Asempa, he might maybe one must flip through or two tweaks, and so you need to hit the shot on target and hope that it works well. That's it.
All right, so that's the setup for Asante Kotoko. It's an unchanged 11 from the team, the 11 that started against BBA Gold Stars. It was a goalless team, but then quite a lot of positives. But for the away side, you have Asempa in post, and then in midfield, there's Jetia Simba, and then also Yakubu, and look up front, Opoku. But then the danger man who has scored the most goals for them this season, playing as a left winger, Cheneboa.
The trio in midfield, Kwesi, Sylvester Simba, Prince Trinidad, they are the deadly. It's their best trio, combinative trio in the midfield. Their link-up play, the understanding, and how Simba and Prince Trinidad can set up goals is interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't know why Dubi is not imposed because he's been the consistent goalkeeper. Maybe there's an issue that's why Senpai is imposing. But apart from that, and look, Jacob Boazi, Francis Asante are solid guys at the back who are very experienced, consistent as well, tackle so hard and very physical. So good. Prince Opoku is the least man. He scored in the game against Bechem.
Yeah.
He and Prince Trinidad. So he's also a guy that. And one thing about their team, Atamosis scored against Mediama. So the point is that they are a variety of players that can score. It's not only one player that would over depend on. That is what makes the team a bit dangerous because they can have a go from any side. Interesting.
So it's now time to listen to both coaches, Abdul Karim Zito, the head coach of Asante Kotoko, and then also Johnson Spade, the gaffer for Basake Holy Stars.
We are not going for vengeance because there is no reward. You understand? It's a league, and our objective is also to win. And definitely, we can't go without winning today. So, yes, the first defeat hurt us, If you've heard my press after that game, you saw that I was very, very hyped. So we use that to motivate ourselves to play better and make sure that we win this match.
Talk to me about the game plan for today. You have Cheneboa who has scored 6 goals for you already this season.
Okay, we are taking this match as a normal 11 aside. So I don't think there's anything that I can say about this match.
A win for you today. All right, so both coaches with the assessment and expectations ahead of this crunch game. But for Abdul Karim Zito, he acknowledges the fact that the darling boy of the club has returned, Albert Amwa. And Jeffrey, how crucial, we saw him. He only scored twice before leaving for Al Ahly Benghazi, but then he's back and he's on the bench for them.
Well, it's good he's back, but I don't know the kind of Albert Amwa that is back because he has not had a lot of competitive games to play whilst in Ali Benghazi. So the point is that, yeah, he's back, but he needs to prove what it made him to be Albert Amwa. He needs to be instinctive. That is what will win him back to the loving supporters. So, yes, he's on the bench. It's good that Kotoko have somebody who is trusted on the bed. In difficult situations, they can rely or call on him to come and build them when they need be. So that's good. But he needs to come and prove himself again because he's been out for some time.
Thank you very much. So, kickoff is back on. It's match day 20 fixture here from the Baba Sports Stadium. It is Asante Kotoko taking on Basake Holy Stars. We head for a commercial break. When we are back, we join the live action.
In the heart of Ghana, a nation rich with natural resources and vibrant culture, lies
Sunny Sunday afternoon in the Garden City is the Ghana Premier League match day 20 between Asante Kotoko and Holy Stars. Asante Kotoko coming to this game without a win in their last 3 games. The last time they played here, they failed to win against Brecum Chelsea. For Holy Stars, they come into this game in confident mood, having beaten Bechem United by 2-1 last weekend. It's Sunday special in the Ghana Premier League. Asante Kotoko versus Basake, Holy Stars. This game is coming to you from the Babayara Sports Stadium. Beautiful weather, 35 degrees Celsius. My name is Nana Dakwa Jesse, together with Josiah Okokwe. We're your commentators for this afternoon's fixture here in the Garden City as the 2 teams get set in the tunnel. Kotoko set to emerge in their all-red outfits, and then Holy Stars will turn up here in dominant yellow colors against Asante Kotoko. Bibiani Gold Stars almost fell to Asante Kotoko last weekend because of Kotoko's amazing second half performance. They saw a goal disallowed and coming to this game very confident from that performance against Gold Stars in the last outing. For Basake Holy Stars, it's been ups and downs for them this season in the top flight. They picked up maximum points the other day at home against Bechem United. Again, they were dominant and deservedly got a 2-1 win. Don't forget, for Kotoko, it will just not be vengeance on their minds. It will be to get back their season on track in their quest to win the Premier League. Don't forget, Basake Holy Stars were the first team to beat Kotoko in this season's Premier League. Karim Zito has maintained some consistency in the starting lineup without making a single change to the team that drew against Gold Stars in Mibiani last weekend. A back 4 of Amwa, Samba, Ansu and Amwa to protect Kamara, with a 4-man midfield of Bedu, Dauda, Jehu and Amidu Akwa. Donzo leads the attack alongside Yakubu Dogo, who plays his second game for Asante Kotoko since joining the last 2 weeks. Some kind of pressure on Abdul Karim Zito. He knows too well that a win for Kotoko will make them real contenders once more, especially when their rivals Hearts of Oak pummeled 11 Wonders yesterday at the University of Ghana Stadium in a 3-0 victory. That intensifies the pressure on the Porcupines to also make amends. Johnson Smith knows this Kotoko team too well. He's been in and out of Kotoko as an assistant coach and as a youth team coach. Only recently, he was at nearby Nations FC. He parted ways and joined Basake Holy Stars and inflicted Kotoko's first defeat of the season in his maiden game for Holy Stars, who win the toss, gets to choose where they'll play from, and Kotoko will do the kickoff. Our center referee today is Nathan Anafo. He's assisted by Theophilus Akugri and Richard Kwekunate. Yakubu Hassim is our 4th referee, and Samuel Odronya, the experienced football administrator, is a match commissioner. Johnson Smith has made 4 changes to the team that beat Bechem United the other day at home, as Sempari replaces first choice goalkeeper Dubika Sitabi with a back 4 of Blay, Ata, Boazi and Asante, with Amponsa coming in to replace, going out for Yakubu Isa to replace him. Simba Sylvester is maintained from the last weekend's game. Kwesin, Jetu and Cheneboa are in the same team like they did last week, and there's a place for top man Boniface Blay at left back this afternoon. Big game for Asante Kotoko. In 3 games, they haven't won a single one, and they are yet to score in their last 2 games, Josiah.
It's pressure mounting on the Porcupine Warriors, and like you rightly said, 3 games without win for them means that they've slipped chances of winning the league has become thinner and thinner over the last couple of game weeks. But then there's a game they'll be looking at after dropping point here against Wycombe Chelsea last time out. So they'll be hoping to make amends in this one. It is a crucial game, and perhaps maybe vengeance could be on the minds of these players after they lost for the first time this season to this Basake Holy Stars team.
All is set for the kickoff here at the Babayara Stadium. Nathan Anafo takes a look at his watch and signals for the game to commence here at the Babayara Stadium. It's Kotoko versus Holy Stars in the Ghana Premier League Match Day 20. Kotoko playing from right to left, defending from the Asokwa end of the pitch, with the Holy Stars playing from left to right, playing with their backs at the Amakum end of the pitch. It's Holy Stars in control, Chene Boa. First touch for Kotoko captain Samba Oneo. He was gutted the last weekend when that goal scored was disallowed. He felt he did everything right to rise and head the ball in, but that's past and gone now. Here is Yakubu Dogo. Loses the ball to Jetia. Now Prince Bedu takes charge for Kotoko. He's fouled by Sylvester Simba. It's the first free kick of the afternoon, and Bedu seems to have been caught on the lips right there by Sylvester Simba.
Yeah, looks terrible. It's like a terrible hit on Bidu. There, been crushed into by Sylvester Simba. And he should be fine, but could see that indication on the turf, pointing to his lips. Or perhaps it could be sought at this time, but it's very, very early into the game, and that's how physical sometimes they can be, Basake Holy Stars, especially on the road. They're very compact tactically and technically. They are very, very, disciplined.
Joseph Amon's delivery, he's looking for Dogo. Jewu with the first time hit that goes out for a goal kick. First attempted goal by Asante Kotoko's number 12, Hubert Jewu.
What a bad ball in, but Jewu trying to hit that one on the volley as well. Just couldn't direct that one on target.
Here is Jewu to Donzo. Joseph Armour, he's got Aqua on his left. Here is Amido Aqua, sets up Armour for a cross. Now Jewu with a drive, and he goes straight to Prince Asempa. Asempa is making his only third start of the season with first choice goalkeeper Dubi Tassi unavailable for today's game.
Yeah, he would be busy throughout 90 minutes. He knows that coming up against this fluid Asante Kotoko team, especially in attack where you have Donzo and then also Yakubu up front.
Here is Aqua. Now it's Dada Sauka. Been swapping places with Aqua sometimes with their diminutive figures. You need to be really close to know who's got it.
It looks more like a front four for Kumasa Asante Kotoko. And you wouldn't be surprised looking at the fact that Coach Abdul Karim Zito decided to keep, maintain that starting 11 from your last goalless stalemate against the Gold Stars. And the most positive aspect was the fact that Yakubu Dogo and then also Morfin Donzo struck a very, very good partnership up front, created lots of chances as well.
Issa Yakubu, the poor boy, he can't get to Francis Asante. Gold Stars have a date with Wycombe Chelsea Mediama, hosting Karela. Vision already down by 1-0 against Hoho United at the Hoho Stadium. It's been a very competitive campaign so far, and the second half promises to be highly competitive.
It's always been They're the first 19 games of the season where many are looking at running away with the title, but it's for the teams down there, and whenever you come up against the teams trying to escape relegation, it's always a difficult one at this time of the season where they're struggling, to escape the scare.
Simba. Quaison. Issa Yakubu, he's a former Kotoko player. He swings in across but is low, only falls to Joseph Aqua. It's a foul against Issa Yakubu for the challenge on Peter Amidu Aqua.
Just a sluggish way to lose the ball over there. They had space. Yakubu at the right hand side, but just couldn't try and get in a decent ball. A bit more central.
Samba O'Neill is trying to find Dogo. Good defending from Jacob Boazi. Francis Asante gets it away on his first Amwa. Final touch coming off Issa Yakubu for a Kotoko throw. Quaison. Great show of strength by Amwa. He finds Beidou. Ball is cleared away by Francis Asante. Here is Jeu for Kotoko. Poor ball in intercepted by Ata. Now Jetia to Boniface Blay. Jetia is trying to pick out Quaison. Good control from Quaison. Lovely play from the winger. Tries to make inroads. He's got Jeu. Draws back to Issa Yakubu. Sylvester Simba. Boniface Blay is trying to pick out Prince Chuniboy. He's got the pace. Sends the ball in, but it's cleared by Samba O'Neill. Always present to do those duties in defense for Kotoko. It's still Simba. Shot off the ball by Donzo. That's remarkable to see Donzo coming all the way to track back and win possession for Kotoko in defense.
You sometimes need that. You need that from your attackers, and Donzo has proven that yes, the goals might not be coming, as frequently as he wants, but his work rate should never be questioned.
Lovely play from Aqua, good pace. Now here is Dogo Yakubu. Unfortunately, the ball goes behind Dada Sauka. Saka Dauda and Morifin Donzo had raced even before Dogo had intended to put that ball through.
And not on the same wavelength with them. He's not on the same page, Dogo. And, he's proven to build some good chemistry with the players up front already.
It's Aqua. Can't go past Ata. Jeu, good space to drive. He finds Donzo, but ball is cleared away by Boniface Blay. Opoku. Issa Yakubu. Now Simba. I play with so much confidence in Kotoko's own territory, but the flag is up for offside against Prince Opoku.
And that comes to his surprise, Prince Opoku. He was thinking that, he times his run perfectly, but the assistant referee thinks otherwise. But there is a space they are trying to exploit over there. Kotoko leaving too much space, behind for Basake Holy Stars. And yeah, they are playing with confidence, but Kotoko needs to be careful, especially when you have these 4v4 situations. It would really be scary for them. They really need to press high and win the ball quickly once they lose it.
Quaison. Yakubu. Jetia. Cheniboa. Simba. Here is Boniface Blay. Finds his captain Ata. Now Boazi. Gives the ball away as Sambo O'Neill arrives first to that ball, what meant for Poku.
And he's always rock solid. Sambo O'Neill, in the heart of defense. Always good with the timing, and that was a good interception there to hit that one off.
The confidence with which Quayson controls the ball and dribbles passes Marcus is just remarkable. Here comes Simba. Brilliant skill. Hangs on to the ball and holds on to Issa Yakubu. He sees Boniface Blay on the left-hand side. He picks out Blay. Got into positional play from Holy Stars. We've done 10 minutes at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Asante Kotoko nil, Holy Stars nil. Blay's effort rises above the goalpost for a goal kick.
Still rising from Boniface Blay from the left back position. Made that forward run. He found himself, in a very, very open space and decided to shoot over there. But Kotoko needs to be careful now. They are coming up against sharp wingers of Basake Holy Stars. Very, very pacey as well.
Morifin Donzo. Aqua, he wants to put a first-time ball for Dogo. He's up against Ata. Dogo hangs on well, returns the ball to Aqua. Aqua swings in across to the far side, but he can't get to Dausauka. No, unable to control Dauda Saka.
That was good intent, trying to switch play, trying to go a bit more expansive there up front. But then accuracy just not there.
Here is Dogo. He wants to shoot, he tries to slack from a distance and is drifted wide for a goal kick. Not a good effort from Dogo.
And you would apologize, but it's interesting to note the spaces, in between for both sides to try and attack. And for Kotoko, they've had so much space up front. I've just not seen the surging rounds of the fullbacks, talking about Lord Amwa and then also Joseph Abwa.
Here is Issa Yakubu. He's playing in a more advanced role today, with Jetia playing behind him and providing the cover for the back four, with Simba playing in between. Here is Issa Yakubu again, but that's a lovely tackle from Prince Bedu. The former Nations man goes down and wins a foul for Asante Kotoko. He started against Gold Stars and he was very impressive. He's been rewarded with another starting place today, and so far he's been spot on, Bedu.
Yeah, barely put a foot wrong. Former Nations man, knows his job very well. Provides cover each and every time, and I think he's that type of player that Abdul Karim Zito would always fancy to have him in his 11. You look at his physique, and aerial presence as well. Has that penchant for winning tackles also in those 1v1 situations. Very, very difficult to go past him, and he's really, really been instrumental so far since joining.
Sambo O'Neill picks out Saka Dauda, tees up Lord Armour on his bike on the right. He swings in across. Donzo heads it down, collected by Asempa.
There again, space being exploited over there from the right-hand side. And it was a swift attack, swift movement of the ball by Kwasa Asante Kotoko. And each and every time they have the ball, it's so easy for them to make an entry into the final third. And just look at that whip into the crossbar. Donzo just heading that ball a bit more vertical, allowing the goalkeeper to grab that easily.
Referee whistles because assistant referee is indicating that there was a foul on Quayson earlier. He tried to play the advantage because Yakubu Issa had possession, but he goes back to take where the original foul occurred. That's right there. Joseph Amwa on Quayson.
I think it was a good call. Tried to play the advantage until Basake Holy Stars lost possession of that ball. It'll always be an interesting battle between these two. Quayson more, he's strong, pacey as well, skillful. He's not Amwa or Joseph Amwa at that left back position.
Benjamin Chivanyo has put Aduana ahead. In Swedro is All Blacks 0, Aduana 1. Here in Kumasi, Kotoko and Holy Stars are yet to create any clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. Here comes Aqua. Shows too much of the ball to that right back, Francis Asante of Holy Stars. And Kotoko will get the advantage from that late challenge on Peter Amidu Aqua.
It was the 1v1 situation, and it was, Asante was trailing a bit late there on arrival, but sticks in the leg and, rightly catches the foot of Peter Amidu Aqua. That's the strength of Peter Amidu Aqua, especially on the run whenever he has the ball and he's on the move. Very, very difficult to stop.
Asante Kotoko currently fifth on the league log. 8 wins, 8 draws, 3 defeats this season. Here's Lord Amwa's free kick, headed down by Boazi now, away by Simba. Prince Opoku controls it for Holy Stars. Tries to pick out Cheneboa, but Saka Dauda does well to win possession, finds Amwa now. Bedu gets it away. Asante returns it with a header for Holy Stars. Now Quaison, brilliant play from Quaison. Opoku to Quaison. He seemed to be the main man, the danger man for Holy Stars. Kotoko might have to find an antidote to his tricks and antics. He can be dangerous.
Yeah, he is very dangerous. You talk about power, talk about pace, talk about skill, and he has all that in his armory. You would always need to double up on him each and every time he's on the ascendancy.
Boniface Blade to Cheneboa. Turns around and finds Simba. Simba sees Quaison on the right. He finds Quaison. Lovely skill to go past Amwa. Here is Quaison. Quaison! The effort in the end is a poor one, but you can talk about the movement, the skill, the trickery to go past Amwa.
And it would be a long afternoon for Amwa at that position, especially having Quaison. And we've spoken about, his quality and the threat he poses to the Asante Kotoko defense. And just look at that, just ghosting everyone with so much ease. The ball fortunately coming off the foot of Jehu. Just couldn't keep his head up a bit, to just take a glance at the pool before shooting that one. But, he's very, very, very good with what he does, and he would always be a threat.
The foul against Yakubu Dogo. It was an initial tackle on Captain Arta, overlooked, then he eventually found Jetia, but that would not escape the lenses of Nathan Anafo.
He saw that rightly, and that was Dogo Yakubu with a foul. Just knew it. A bit of a push there. You talk about how he's slotted in so far. It's been seamless for him, but it's just that he's yet to hit the ground running. As an attacker, he would always be expected to get the goals, at least help Domzo with those goal-scoring duties.
The foul on Saka Dauda. Boniface Blay with that late challenge. There you see Albert Amwa beaming with smiles on the Kotoko bench, but here Kotoko steps up with an attack. It's Lord Amwa. Bedu tries to bend one, but it's gone horribly wrong. Goal kick.
That was a bad hit, terrible hit by Bedu, who found himself in an attacking position there, but it was quick thinking by Kotoko to just restart play quickly, and Boniface out of position, but you could see Amwa making that forward run again, and that ball heading to Bedu, who could only shoot a bit wide. You talk about the spaces, there are quite a lot, but it's all about decision making at this point, making the right choices, and Bedu trying to hit that one from close to 30 yards out and not directing that one on target.
Holy Stars have won 6 games this season. They've only picked up 23 points and like 12 on the log. 8 defeats, considered 23 goals and scored 17 in the process. Quaison. Aqua wants to go through the middle, sets up Saka Dauda, now Jehu. Aqua tries to cut back, headed down. Now Saka Dauda unable to shoot right, it goes against Blay, and Jetia will get it away to Simba. Lord Amwa did what to put his body there. That ball was just right meant for Chinibua.
Yeah, that would have been a fast break. That would have been a dangerous ball for Kotoko to defend, especially looking at the numbers they have at the back. Nearly resulted in a quick break, but it's Kotoko. They are turning the ball over too many times now. It's either you are aiming for the goal or you don't lose that ball, especially when you are disorganized in an attempt to attack. And that nearly resulting in a fast break. But just look at that again, that ball through it. You had Peter Midwako racing down to get at the end of it. It was a bit of a poor clearance there by Arthur, but the initial shot of the game going off the Basake Holy Stars defender.
No goals at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. We've gone past 20 minutes here at the Baba Yara. Holy Stars, the first team to beat Kotoko this season's Premier League. Not giving Kotoko chances to suggest that they've come here to show that form as poor travellers.
It's just been three draws so far in 10 away games, and that's awful, you know, for the record.
Got 7 defeats in the process. 7 defeats.
That's just 3 from an available 30, you know, and that's just not good enough. But they understand this league is heavily dominated by home teams, and their home form is a stark contrast of what their record on the road has been.
Considered 17 away goals this season, Holy Stars. Second worst away performing side in the Premier League. Is Lord Amwa, who steps up to take the free kick for Kotoko, swings one in. The header is straight to Asempa from Henry Ansu.
Yeah, and that's why you sometimes need your lanky defender, centre backs, you know, in those positions during set pieces. That's where Henry Ansu rises the highest, but again a bit feeble.
Jehu picks out Aqua, who's got Arthur to beat. He goes back to Joseph Amwa, sends in a cross, stopped by Issa Yakubu. Intercepted by Amwa. Simba returns it to Bedu, but he's almost giving the ball away to Chineboa. Good control from Chineboa. He's got the pace and skill, but that's lovely tackle. Great track back by Prince Bedu. The reason Kotoko brought him to Kumasi from Abrankese.
Yes, showing the spirit of tenacity there, Bedu as well. Lost it initially, but fought back like a warrior. Just leading to win it again for Kotoko.
Good switch to the right by Jehu to Dauda. Now Dogo. Lovely control, but he's giving it away to Jetia. Foul against Jehu, bringing down Prince Chineboa.
Yeah, it looks like we are not far away from the opener here. Certainly, Courts. There's so much space there. You look at Kotoko and they're not playing with those close spaces again, committing too many men forward. Same for Basake Holy Stars, and it certainly looks like an evenly matched game where, you know, the first goal could just pop up at any point. We've seen some decent chances as well, but I just think it's all about who wants it more now.
Here is Samba, the Kotoko captain. Every passing week comes with news regarding Sylvester Sambo O'Neill's future with Asante Kotoko, whether he stays or he renews his contract as we head into the first cooling break of the afternoon. As the earlier incident, there was a shove, but the ball had already crossed the line.
It had, either way, it would have been a Basake Holy Stars ball, regardless. But you talk about Kotoko, and there are issues with their captain, and it looks a bit bleak. Certainly fans quite interested, trying to know the future or what the future holds for their captain. But I think he's been their most important player this season, by far their best player. A bit more versatile. He's giving them goals as well. Last week, and he nearly won them the game at the dance park. Unfortunately, he was chucked off, but I think he's really been good for them.
25 minutes cooling break at the Baba Yara. It's goalless between Asante Kotoko and Holy Stars. We've not seen glaring, clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities been created by these two teams. Balanced game with Kotoko slightly on top, but it's been Gideon Kwesen who has been causing a lot of problems for the Asante Kotoko defense, especially Joseph Amwa on the left-hand side of defense.
Yeah, certainly. I think both teams haven't really punched above their weight yet. It's just been end-to-end stuff. But we've seen so much space at the back for either team to exploit. We've not really had or seen the teams do that yet. But it feels like the goal is not far away. The first goal of the game isn't that far away. For Kotoko, they've been playing around Jiu. He's really been pivotal for them. It's been more like the playmaking or the playmaker in the setup with Bedu. Just trying to shield the back four, protecting the back four, which he's done perfectly. We are yet to see that combination, come alive, that combination between Donzo and Dogo Yakubu up front, like we did in the matchday 19 game against BBA Gold Stars at the dance park. But for Basake Holy Stars, they are making you feel that, we are the team that beat Kotoko the first time this season, and it looked like Johnson Smith certainly is familiar with the Kotoko setup, and he set up this team to frustrate them a bit. They've not been compact like we've seen them, in most of their away games, but then we've seen them gain entry into the third half. The attacking third, they've had touches, especially through Kwesen at the right-hand side of attack. We've not seen the best out of Trinidad, and then also the attacker in Prince Opoku. But then that midfield trio of JTI, Isa Yakubu, and then also Simba are really, really, standing tall, and they've really, blocked most of the balls and also try to help the team move forward.
Lord Amwa. Saka's delivery. Penalty. Well, interesting development here at the Baba Yara. Asante Kotoko presented with a massive opportunity. Holy Stars will protest this decision by Anafo. Kotoko wouldn't mind. Saka Dauda still stays down. Kotoko have a penalty.
Certainly looks like a penalty for me. A bit clumsy, very, very clumsy from our forward. It's I don't know, but he could have avoided that body face.
Amidu Akwa will leave it for his captain, Samba O'Neill. He wants to lead by example and take up the responsibility.
These are pressure moments. Pressure moments, and you always expect the top guy.
Samba O'Neill against Prince Asempa. Samba steps forward, and Samba scores brilliantly from the spot to Kotoko, the opening goal here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. The captain has led by example. Samba O'Neill scores with a well-taken penalty for Asante Kotoko. It's Kotoko 1, Holy Stars 0.
Perfectly executed. Perfectly executed. And we've spoken about him not long ago, about being the most important man in the setup, and rightly so he is. No nerves of steel there. Maintain his composure and just struck that one. No aim for the bottom left corner, sending Asempa the wrong way. And he's made for the big moment. He's made for times like this, Samba O'Neill. And for a team that's gone 3 games without a win, definitely you'll be hoping, you'll be looking at your most influential player, your biggest player, to convert at such difficult times.
Here's Aqua, puts one through for Donzo. Morifin Donzo. Boazi steps up. That's clever defending from the Holy Star centre back, and the effort will receive applause from the bench. That's Entry, Kote, Amwa, all of them impressed with the movement of Morifin Donzo.
Yeah, you couldn't help but just to be impressed with that move. And it was Basake Holy Stars. A second ago, they were chasing the equalizer, and that quick break from Asante Kotoko. And Donzo, lovely touch, to get the ball in front of him. Just look at that. Well, it was Boazi just remedies the situation for them.
Lord Amos corner, away by Asempa. Issa Yakubu gets it further away for Holy Stars. Is a throw-in. We've gone past the half-hour mark here at the Baba Yara Stadium. Kotoko lead by 1-0. Ketsi Samba O'Neill's penalty after Saka Dauda was brought down in the Holy Stars box. Foul against Asante Kotoko's Saka Dauda on Boniface Blay.
Yeah, it was the same combination that won Kumasi Asante Kotoko a penalty not long ago. This time, Blay, the victim there. Saka not allowing him any room at all. But we've spoken about the spaces at the back, and Kotoko did well on the occasion. A bit clumsy though, but it was a well constructed, ball into the box before being fouled.
These days it's been difficult for Entry to get a start in place. Just came up on the screen a while ago. The competition for places in this team seems to be going stronger week in, week out. If they have a clean bill of health, then Zito might have selection worries.
Yeah, it's a big team, as a team always gunning to win the title.
Lord Amwa swings in across. It's kicked away by Francis Asante. Kotoko have the advantage. Interestingly, it's the away team who seem to be dominating possession with 56% against Kotoko's 44%, but it's Kotoko who have done the most important thing by scoring. It's a lovely switch from Jewu to Amwa. Good control from Amwa. But Prince Cheneboa does well to track back and win the ball. Now it's Prince Opoku to Boniface Blay. Issa Yakubu. Sylvester Simba. Simba has a lot of experience in this Holy Star setup alongside Issa Mohammed, having featured for Dreams FC in the CAF Confederations Cup a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, there's tons of experience in that setup, especially in midfield. And you look at that free midfield of JTR, who's seen it all with Samatex as well, and then also Issa Yakubu, very experienced, and then also Sylvester Simba. And nothing could go wrong. And Johnson Spit could be very, very fortunate having these three.
Hubert Joe, Bedu, Samba Onioro returns the ball to Kamara. These fans will be excited. They've not seen their team score a goal in their last 2 games. A goal has drawn against Chelsea, same in Bibiani, and after 35 minutes, they have Samba Onioro's goal to celebrate.
Yeah, it actually sets the tone for them, not just in this game, but they built the confidence of the team, especially with all the hard work they've put in.
Saka Dauda tries to pick out Dogo, but it's an awkward clearance from Francis Asante. Saka Dauda gets it back to Lord Armour. He's been brilliant on that right-hand side. One of the most improved right backs in the Ghana Premier League in the last 3 seasons. He seemed to be giving Boniface Blay a good run for his money down the left-hand side.
It's not been easy for Boniface Blay at the left-hand side. We saw him, give away a penalty, but then also dealing with a threat of both Saka Dauda and then, also Amwa at the left-hand side has really, really come torrid for him.
Amwa's delivery away by Atta, but only as far as Lord Armour. Lord Armour swings the ball back, headed down by Issa Yakubu. Now Sylvester Simba, Francis Jetia, Prince Opoku. It's a foul. Jehu, deliberate. He knew exactly what he was about, and that challenge has been applauded by Lord Armour.
Yeah, he knew it. He knew he was going to foul him. He knew definitely that was what he was going to do. There was no cover whatsoever. That's why he trucked back a bit, bundled him to the turf.
Gideon Quayson brought down by Henry Ensu. In the meantime, as Quayson stays down, Kotoko have a player down as well. That's a challenge by Ensu. But Joseph Amo had gone down from an initial challenge that Nathan Anafu overlooked until Quayson was brought down.
And that's where the protest began. Kotoko believed they should have had a free kick, but the referee rather giving a free kick in the way of Basake Holy Stars. And it was Quayson. We've not really seen much of him. In the opening 20 minutes, he was the most threatening player for Basake Holy Stars. But the last 18, we've not really seen much from him. And he's always a delight to watch when he's on the ball. We'll be hoping that he doesn't pick up a knock here. It would be very, very bad to lose him.
Holy Stars have lost 3 times and drawn twice in their last 5 away games. But like you rightly said, in 10 away games this season, they've lost 7 times and drawn only 3 times. And after some 39 minutes, Kotoko lead Holy Stars by 1 goal to 0. And this is the 24th goal that Holy Stars have conceded in 20 games this season.
Defensive worries there. Johnson Smith will be hoping and not just winning games, but solving those defensive issues. Always a problem for them, especially on the road where they've considered a chunk of the goals. Close to 75% of the goals they've considered this season has come on the road. It tells you that they really struggle to keep clean sheets whatever they go away from home.
Boniface Blade to Opoku. Cheneboa swings in a cross away by Amoa. But there was an initial foul on Joseph Amoa by Issa Yakubu. Issa seemed to be in disagreement with Anafo's decision.
Yeah, also in an offside position there. Flag rightly went up on Issa. And it's unusual finding him in such positions. He's more of a DM, a protector. But today he's left those duties to JTI. And he's rather joining Simba, forming those two number 10.
Amido Aqua. Good ball to Donzo, who uses Dogo as a decoy. Now it's Aqua. Back to Jehu. Jehu is trying to set up Aqua, but there's a good tackle coming from Ata. Amwa swings in across. Asante miskicks. He's won the foul. Clever play from Asante.
He wanted it. He got it. Asante, he should have cleared that one, the first time of asking, but Donzo wasn't just going to give him any space at all to try and deal with that one. That's how you apply pressure on teams sometimes. Yeah, he knew that he could have just sent that one in field for his players to win it, but he decided to just police him.
Sambo O'Neill's goal separates Kotoko from Holy Stars, and that's the third goal for Kotoko's captain this season. He scored in the 2-1 win against Young Apostles and the 2-2 drawn against Mediama, and has opened the scoring for Kotoko here. He's been fabulous for them this season. 4 MVPs, 3 goals, leadership by example, Sambo O'Neill.
Yeah, he's been great, and if the talks are always protracted, with regards to his future with the club, it's understandable. His stock has risen in the last couple of months.
Cheneboa. Isaiah Kubu with space to drive now. Quayson. Here is Gideon Quayson. Wants to shoot. Goes against Amwa now. Opoku. Great save, Kamara. Brilliant save from the Asante Kotoko goalkeeper to deny Cheneboa for his 7th of the season. That's why Kotoko wants to keep him, Mohamed Kamara.
Yeah, and that's no rocket science at all. Perfectly worked ball over there. Of shoving there, but just look at that. Quayson does well to hang on. Just turns and tights that one. It was a shot initially, but then blocked by Amwa. Just look at that smart thinking from Opoku, and Cheneboa nearly adding to his tally there for that heroic save.
He had to improvise and go with the outside of his foot because of the distance and the closeness of the defender, and he got a beautiful save coming from Mohamed Kamara. 3 minutes away from the break. Kotoko up by 1-0 against Holy Stars here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi. Bedu is fouled by Issa Yakubu. Free kick Asante Kotoko. Enso's delivery trying to find Morifin Donzo. Aqua. Outnumbered and loses possession. Hubert Jehu, Saka Dauda. He sees Lord Amwa on the right. He finds Amwa. Another option in Saka Dauda. Hubert Jehu has lost possession. Jetia, an opportunity for a counter-attack. He puts one through for Quayson, but Sambo O'Neill is arriving. Quayson is still hanging on. Here is Quayson. The Kotoko captain has fouled Quayson. He goes straight into his face. It's a foul. Samba O'Neill commits a foul. Referee has not reached his pocket yet. Doubt whether Samba will take a card for this offense, but it was obvious that he just used his hands in his face. And Alf will be charitable if he doesn't hand him a card. The danger man for Holy Stars. Boazi is asking whether you won't flash him a card. But it's not your decision to tell the referee to flash a card, Boazi. We've done 45 minutes already at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Karim Zitos Asante Kotoko are in the lead against Holy Stars. Three minutes of additional time. Cheaply gives away the free kick, and here comes Aqua. He's also been charitable, handed possession immediately to Holy Stars. Prince Opoku fouls Kotoko. Samba O'Neill. Free kick is Asante Kotoko. Out of 9 home games this season, Kotoko have won 5 of them, but by their own standards, they've not impressed in 4 of those 9 home games. They've dropped points in 4 home games. They drew against Mediama, drew against Brecum Chelsea, drew against Hearts of Lions, and also failed to pick up maximum points against Ediana. So those 4 games could have fetched Kotoko some 16 points, but they got only 4 out of those 16 points from the Baba Yara Stadium. We're into the last seconds of stoppage time to wrap up the first half here at the Baba Yara Stadium. Here is Saka Dauda. He caused the penalty that resulted in the opening goal. Here is Joseph Amwa. Swings one for Yakubu Dogo. Aqua. Donzo. Switches to Amwa down the right side. He's got the pace. Amwa. Saka Dauda. And he's gone wide for a goal kick, and Zito knows something positive should have come from this man. If he's not injured and it's in his elements, he's unplayable. Saka Dauda. Teed up by Amwa, went in for the first timer, just couldn't find the right target. Sylvester Simba. Amwa controls it for Kotoko. Bedu. Pass intercepted by Boazi. Cheneboy is fouled by by Lord Amwa. That's a free kick. Referee Nathan Anafo whistles to bring the first half to an end here at the Baba Yara Stadium. The goal from this man, Samba O'Neill, has made the difference at the Baba Yara Stadium. It's half-time. Asante Kotoko 1, Holy Stars 0.
All right, so it's 1-0 to Kumasi Asante Kotoko in our match day 20 fixture here at the Baba Sports Stadium. Goal coming from their captain Samba O'Neill after Sakadao that was fouled in the box. And I've now been joined here by the assistant head coach of Asante Kotoko, Prince Owusu, to take his thoughts. Coach, a deserving lead for you going into the break?
Yeah, I think we deserve it. We deserve it. We're going to make sure we protect it and then maybe add some couple to it. Because we need to do that. The position that we are in on the league, we need to get more goals.
All right, thank you very much for your time. So that's the assistant head coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. That's Prince Yauzu, and he believes that it's quite a decent game for them. They head into the break with a 1-0 lead, courtesy Samba O'Neill. It's now time for the assistant head coach of Basake Holy Stars, Rashad Musa. Coach, how do you describe the first half? How difficult has it been trying to progress the ball?
Yeah, very, very difficult because we need to multiply our numbers against their defenders so that we can have more men to be able to hold our play up front. But it's quite unfortunate that our defenders find it very, very difficult to locate our midfielders. So we always hit long balls and then their centre-back picks the balls.
Yeah, but what about exploiting the spaces up front?
Yeah, I think all what we need to do is to create more spaces and then add another man up front so that we can be able to have the ball to play more.
All right, thank you very much.
You're
All the
welcome.
best of luck for the remaining game. So that's Rashad Musa. He's the assistant head coach of Basake Holy Stars. It's halftime here at the Baba Sports Stadium. We are headed for a break. When we are back, I'll be joined by Jeffrey Asari for the discussions. Stay tuned. All right, so it's halftime here in our Sunday special fixture at the Baba Sports Stadium. It is Asante Kotoko leading 1-0 against Basake Holy Stars. And who else to get them the goal? But their captain, who is leading by example. And it was Samba O'Neill who dispatched from 12 yards to hand them the lead heading into the break. My name is Joseph Kuku. I'm still here with Jeff Asari. Jeff, let me take your quick thoughts. Do you think it's a deserving lead for Asante Kotoko after 45 minutes?
Oh, of course. I mean, they created good chances. Yes, some uncoordinated, some poor pass, but they created good chances. They have good openings and opportunities. And then, unfortunately, Boniface Blay, was childish. This is what you don't blame a coach. That's lack of intelligence of a player that led to the penalty that was dispatched, especially by Samba O'Neill.
But you look at the setup, and yeah, we saw spaces, both teams trying to commit men forward. There were spaces for Basake Holy Stars, same as Asante Kotoko. But would you say these two teams have actually exploited those spaces left?
Not really, but on few occasions. Basake, you realize that, look, Sylvester Simba, Prince Chuniboa, Gideon Kwesi, they've been dictated the play when they have the opportunity. You see Samed switching from the left, Gideon Kwesi from the right. They switch play very well. The problem is the final attack. Look, yeah, you say that the Prince Chuniboa excellent drive. That goalkeeper Mohamed Cameron. Once again, you give the credit to excellent hold-up play, and then the pass from Gideon Kwesi. But Lorama was the one that made it easier for Prince Chuniboa to actually send that excellent drive, but goalkeeper Cameron stood the test. But for that, and then Gideon Kwesi had a very brilliant opportunity first pull to nick that ball, but he missed narrowly. So they've not been bad. They've also created their own chances, but they've not been bad at all.
But let's talk a bit about Kotoko and the goal. And when you said that was clumsy on the part of Boniface Blay, to have tripped Saka Dauda, because we saw how they were trying to swarm the penalty box of Basake Holy Stars to force that error. Would you say it was just perfectly worked out?
It was naive and unintelligent from a defender. You don't cost your team. It's not a very difficult situation when you have nothing to do, but you have an option to either clear the ball or make sure that you watch your leg. You don't need to actually go and put in a leg that will create an unnecessary problem for you.
That's what you have currently on your screen. And that was just clumsy.
That's what I'm saying.
The chance to clear that one infield.
It was needless. Just clear the ball. It was needless. Sometimes you don't understand what goes to the mind of players at any time. But it was unfortunate. But that has also caused the team to go down by a goal to nil. That was avoidable anyway. You understand me? Sometimes players do some of these things and only them can explain themselves as to what in that situation they were thinking through that led them to make such comical mistakes.
Now, we saw in the biggest fixture, on our calendar was a super clash. There was a penalty and it was Donzo that stepped up. But today, we saw the captain who scored in their previous game at the Dance Park, which was disallowed. But were you thinking, what are the dynamics that went into it, not allowing your strikers to score, increase their confidence, but then Donzo, at that point, had to pick the ball and dispatch it?
Well, it is very important the time. There is a team that is struggling to win. If they've not won after the 6-0 win against Bechem, they are struggling. 3 matches have gone without a win. What you need is a confident player that you are sure and guaranteed can dispatch this. This is not a point for trial luck. Samba, look, Kotoko Young Apostle, in the dying embers of the game, Kotoko had a penalty. He dispatched it. So you should be guaranteed that that 10 out of 10, when he's given the opportunity, he will put it at the back of the net. And you need that goal to go into the break. So that's exactly why he was the one tasked to do that. All
right, so the biggest talking point of the game so far was this penalty, perfectly, coolly, calmly executed by Samba O'Neill. Coach, Jeffrey, how crucial is this chap to the Kotoko setup? We've heard that there's been protracted talks as far as his future contract extension is concerned, but how crucial has it been to Kotoko this season?
He's the best player for the team. The entire the best player is Samba O'Neill. So that is how crucial and important it is. You don't lose him. But if you are not able to meet his expectation and demand, you will lose him. That's how the game is today. If you want to keep a good player, be ready and be prepared to meet the demands of the player. So that's the challenge that he has. Can Kotoko match the demands that are coming on his contract? He want to move. Can they match it up? If they can, he will move. And they'll lose their best player. And that will be calamitous for the defense.
So halftime discussions, we're still live on we are still live on TV3 and then also on Unia TV. But let's talk about the numbers after the first 45. And there you have it. Goal scored 1-0 to Basake Holy Stars. 6 shots to Asante Kotoko. 3 on target. And then ball possession. Yeah, they wouldn't mind because they are trailing in that department. But then just look at the corners. So with the exception of ball possession, But, sorry, what would you say? Would you say Kotoko, they've been impressive so far?
Of course, I mean, if you look at the Hubert Jew's chance that goalkeeper Asempa has to come and save, that was brilliant. Look, they've been creating a chance. The only problem, the lack of coordination between the midfielders and then the strikers. And you look, Morfin Dozo have been doing a lot of movement. You look at Dogo, the same thing.
Yeah.
But the supply has not been consistent. Kotoko's fullbacks, Joseph Amalot and Lorama, they've not really been consistent in terms of the foreign runs and surging crosses. So it is difficult for lack of consistent supply to enable the strikers to have the supply to latch onto. That's the problem they're having. So they're having few supply to work on, and then sometimes the passes are inaccurate and poor, and they allow the strikers to move before the passes are laid behind them, instead of a treading pass that would be in front of them for them to actually utilize.
But what are they doing now? Second half will be starting in the next couple of minutes. If you was Johnson Smith, we spoke about the fact that he's been with Kotoko, he was with Nations FC, he's played against Kotoko a couple of times. Do you think that familiarity is really working out for him?
Well, to some extent, yes, but he should let his players know that they are playing at Barbaraspor against Kotoko. When you get chances, convert them. They will get chances, but it's the conversion as a problem. But look, the excellent drive from Prince Juniba, that is what shows you that this team has quality. And when you give them the opportunity, they can punish you. But for the excellence of the goalkeeper, that would have been a goal. So what they need to do, create more chances, but convert some of them.
And if you are Karim Zito, you've taken a lead in this game. We've rightly mentioned that in games that they've played at home and they've conceded first, they hardly win in such games. But today you have the lead entering into the break. What are you supposed to do? Game management, are you trying to bring on some players to hold on, or you try and go in search of the second?
First 15, 20 minutes, try to get a second goal, you seal it, and be comfortable and play your game. Because if it's 1-0 lead, anything can happen in football. There can be a deflection, there can be an equalizer. Get a second goal early, and then the players can play and entertain themselves in the crowd.
On the Kotoko bench, there's Albert Amwa, the darling boy of the club. There is Emmanuel Enchi as well. Quality on the bench. Which of these players you think would come on at any point? There's Kwame Poku as well on the bench.
The most appropriate person among the three is Albert Amwa. He's the most appropriate. He's the darling boy, and also before he left, he was the most instinctive player of the team. So if you know that you are bringing a player on the bench that can guarantee you a goal, among the three, he's the most reliable person.
Okay. All right. So it's halftime here at the Barbaraspor Stadium. Match day 20, Sunday special fixture. Kotoko headed into the break with a 1-0 lead against Basake Holy Stars. Courtesy Samba. We'll now head to a commercial break where we are back with Johnny Feed for the second half action.
In the heart of Ghana,
We are back from second half, and Asante Kotoko will introduce the returnee Albert Amwa to take the place of Yakubu Dogo. Amwa goes in and is giving the Kotoko fans a lot of excitement and hope. He was their best player before he left, and he's back to ensure their dream of winning the Premier League remains on course. Second half underway here in Kumasi. It's Kotoko 1, Holy Stars nil on match day 20 of the Ghana Premier League. Albert Amwa's first touch for Kotoko. Decides to switch to right hand side and picks out Saka Dauda. Dauda sends a cross, is close to Asempa. That's a late challenge from Lord Amwa on Prince Cheneboa, the danger man for Holy Stars. Tricky, customer on any day. Aqua leads the ball behind, and it's Asante to Isa Yakubu, who gives it away. It's Samba O'Neill now. Kamara gets it away. Headed back by Boazi. Amwa left Asante Kotoko on a permanent deal for Ali Benghazi in Libya, only to return for a loan stint. Here's Amwa. He goes in with a cross. Donzo was trying to set up Saka Dauda. He missed out on that one. It's Sylvester Simba. Ball taken over by Joseph Amwa, but Aqua can't skip past Asante. The introduction of Albert Amwa expected to add more bite and vigor to the Kotoko attack, but it didn't happen for Dogo Yakubu this afternoon.
Yeah, a bit flat from Dogo. Yeah, he tried his runs. Those are, runs, the partnership between himself and then also his strike partner Donzo. Wasn't all that bad, but then I think he looked a bit off the pace, and it's just the right time for the head coach to throw in Albert Amwa. He left here with a good track record, 14 in 32 games for them, and they'll be hoping that he scores today.
And it's unfortunate how and why a player like Kwame Opoku has fallen off the pecking order in terms of the striking options. Injury must have played a part, but form must have been the real deal.
Yeah, it is, but injuries would definitely, take something away from you. And we've seen him; he's not as sharp as he used to be. He scored twice for them in the FA Cup win over, Golden Kick some months ago. He sent them to Africa literally, but he's not really been himself since that time. And you're hoping that if you're a coach, you just hope to have all your players available. And for him, it's just not good at this point.
Boniface Blair, Cheneboa, stopped by Jehu. Ensu, Samba, Amwa. Jehu has given the ball away, now Asante. Simba. Isa Yakubu shows great desire to win the ball and get to Jetia. Here's Captain Moses Arta. He's formed a very solid partnership with Boazi Adare for Holy Stars. Good ball from Simba to Jetia. He's seen Quaison all alone on the right-hand side. He does sort of pick out Quaison. He's coming up against Amwa, who was sharper, brighter, and a delight to watch in the first half, but Amwa seemed to have learnt from his mistakes in the first half.
He has, and whenever he come up again, he's a very, very sharp attacker, very strong lad like Quaison. You would have to learn with each and every duel, and I think he's done that perfectly.
Jetia. He's found Asante on the right-hand side. Here comes Sylvester Simba. Last touch off Amwa, throwing Holy Stars. Clever from Lord Amwa to pick out his goalkeeper. Asante Kotoko without the services of their regular left back Patrick Esiedu, who has gone off with an injury that will keep him on the sidelines for a couple of weeks to come. But Amwa, Joseph Amwa on the left hand side seemed to be a perfect replacement for him, having come through from Legon City. Struggled for playing time, but he's come good in the last 2 games. Joseph Amwa.
He's always been a good backup, Joseph Amwa. Who can play at either side of defense, the laterals. He's very disciplined as well.
Isa Yakubu, Sylvester Simba. Holy Stars are playing catch up, but they don't seem to be in a hurry to make things happen. Cheneboa, Isa Yakubu, Quason is calling for it. I think it's lovely ball to pick out. Quason goes past Amwa, skips past Bedu. Quason blocked by Jehu. Here is Isa Yakubu. Kotoko cleared the lines, but only as far as Asante. He drives one and is flown over the bar for a goal kick. Much to the disappointment of those guys on the reserve bench.
Yeah, that would have hardly even been on target from that distance. He's not the best at the shooting from the distance, Asante, but that was a good move orchestrated by Quason. But then that incisive run there by Cheneboa, who dropped a bit deeper. I think there were better options over there. He could have gone to the closest person in Quason, who was very close to him, but just decided to try his luck. But that isn't beating Kamara.
Good ball from our senpai. Here is Prince Cheneboa. Ball won by Lord Amwa. Saka Dauda to Morifin Donzo. Good movement from Donzo. Lovely ball to Saka Dauda. It's a good defensive cover up by Moses Atta. Kotoko have a corner.
A good move. The way they progress in the ball so quick that you'd always have to be on your toes. And the addition of Amwa, who is a bit immobile, or very, very mobile, I should say, has really brought some fear. And he's backed that attacking lineup of Kotoko. He's brought it back to life. Donzo getting on the ball. Saka Dauda also adding his bit from the right hand side.
Vision have gone up by 2-1 against Hoho United at the Hoho Stadium as Young Apostles equalizes against Dreams. Is 1-1 in 2 by Joseph Amwa. Swings in the Kotoko corner. Headed down by Amwa. And Moses Atta gets it away. Good ball from Amwa to Bedu. Here is Hubert Jehu. Samba. Bedu. Purposeless. Nobody in red for that one for Kotoko.
Not at all. You're asking who was he aiming at, but it just gives them a bit of time to regroup and try to set back again, move into their position without the ball. But that was an awful ball from Bedu.
It's a brace for Benjamin Chivanyo, the former Black Stars captain in Swedro, as Eduana lead All Blacks by 2-0. The Magicians are in trouble in their own backyard.
Yeah, but for Ediana, it would be a good win for them on the road, especially looking at how they've struggled in recent times.
Morifin Donzo. Good work done by Boniface Blair.
He just wasn't going to allow Donzo nick that ball past him as well, with the protection as well.
Atta Asante. He's aiming at Prince Opoku, but Samba O'Neill is arriving first. There's a push on Samba O'Neill. Intelligent defending from the Kotoko captain.
Just knew how to draw the foul. Samba O'Neill. A ball hit a bit too high. A bit away from Prince Opoku. He's been a bit isolated the second half. We've not really seen much of the balls go to him, but Samba does well. Puts his body in between Opoku and the ball and cleverly wins that foul.
10 minutes into the second half. It's 55 minutes here at the Baba Yara Stadium. That penalty converted by Samba O'Neill is what Kotoko is hanging on now as Holy Stars try to come back into the game. Kotoko have introduced Albert Amwa to boost the attacking options, but has still not been able to hit the back of the net. 10 minutes from recess.
It was a good move. It was a good move. At some point, you'd think that, you know, tactically, teams have been able to just, you know, negate each other's strength. But I think for Kotoko, it was a good thing bringing on Amwa. I've not seen the best of him for sure, but still a quality player.
Not too sure about the kind of football he played while he was in Libya, but it's very obvious that he didn't play competitive football while away in Libya. And it must have taken some shine away from his quality, no doubt about that.
Yeah, well, if you're a Kotoko fan, you're hoping that, yeah, it was that same Albert Amwa we had a couple of seasons ago that just returned for us. And, you know, he seemed pretty happy, a bit sharp. You know, during training, he's been good. You know, trying to build that rapport again with the players he left behind, and it's been good so far.
Morifin Donzo goes past Atta. Here is Aqua. And Aqua with a left-footed cross collected coolly by Prince Asempa. Good play from Isaiah Kubu. Choneboa stopped by Bedu. Is a fair challenge, no foul in there. Here is Saka Dauda. Poor ball to Morifin Donzo. Asks too much from the striker, but Kotoko still hang on to possession. Jewi switching on the left side for Aqua. Amwa. Can't go past Atta. Kweisin overruns the ball and out of frustration brings down Hubert Jewu, and he gets the yellow card for that tackle. Clearly out of frustration.
Yeah, it was coming for him, and you know, in as much as he's a good player, quality player, I think sometimes he's over-elaborated. Perhaps he wanted support at that time, but no one there to pass to. Kept his head down as well, and there was a good movement by the Kotoko players to just crowd him. And that forces him to lose the ball.
Sylvester Simba. Good defending from Enrienzo. Confirmation of Gideon Kofi Kweisin's yellow card. Issa Yakubu shows great desire with a shot across. There's nobody for Holy Stars. Asaka Dauda takes control. Jetua is approaching. Goes past Jetua. Picks out Donzo. Here is Jube Jewu. Is a long one aiming at Aqua. Aqua's got Asante to confront. Here is Aqua. Tricky on the left-hand side. Can go past his marker if given the space. Here is Jewu. Swings to the right. He's looking for Saka Dauda. Too much on it. Offside.
And that's what you get when you fail to time your run. And this time it was Saka. Maybe thinking he could have just moved onside a bit. He had all the time to make that decision. Unfortunately, he just got stuck at the right-hand side of the Kotoko attack. Intelligent defensive play by the Basake Holy Stars defense.
Samba gives the ball away. Here's Opoku. Now Sylvester Simba drives from a distance and is not troubling Asante Kotoko. He knows too well that effort is unlike Sylvester Simba.
Yeah, a bit unlike him. You know, the apologies will continue from Simba. And the last couple of shots we've seen Holy Stars take, have all been outside the box, and you're wondering how they can beat Kamara with those. And he's a very difficult goalkeeper to beat at any time. But to shoot from distance, you just need to be accurate. There should be some power behind the ball, which we've not really seen from Basake.
Poor clearance from Boazi, but Atta, that's it well. Yakubu to Jetia. Good skill from Sylvester Simba. He's pushed down by Prince Bedu right before the eyes of referee Anafo. Jetia gives away the free kick.
They're struggling sometimes, Basake. You can hardly hold on to the ball now, and that's what Kotoko wants. They just want you to give that back the ball, then we begin to attack again, and that's what they're doing now, pretty much the second half.
Issa Yakubu dinks one, but there's a beautiful clearance from Samba Onyo. Ensu nearly gave it away, but he stayed composed and calm to do well to find Aqua. That's clever from Henry Ensu.
He would have lost that if he had panicked for a second, but just maintained that composure to win it again.
There's a foul on Prince Bedu by Asante.
Bedu again, saw inside the first 3 minutes, been hit, at the mouth, and this time is the eye. He's not, the question, he's not also the most skillful. He's not a dribbler, but he's really been subjected to some hard tackles this afternoon, Bedu.
As Morifin Donzo up against Atta, goal kick. Kotoko have a player down. It is the right back, Lord Amoa. Emmanuel Kote, who went off with a long-term injury, might just get his chance to return for Kotoko. He joined Kotoko from Inswacheman halfway through 2 seasons ago, but he's not really hit the ground running like expected because of injury. Lord Amoa doesn't seem to have enough competition at that right back. They brought in Shaibu Abubakar, who's also gone off injured. So Amoa is returning now.
Yeah, he's always going to be the first choice, in that position. He's really proven over the last couple of seasons, even during his time at Wickham Chelsea, he's a top player in that position. But you talk about Kote, and the weaknesses in his game actually hasn't really given him that game time he's needed. We saw him during his days in Swatcherman, where he was an explosive right back. He would always want to search forward, but defensively a bit more of a liability where he needs to work on.
The medical team trying to do their best to get Amoa to stay on the field. Good dummy from Jeu. Aqua against Asante. Back to Amoa. Amoa's cross, Asempa fumbles, and it's a Kotoko corner.
That was a cheap corner to give away. Asempa should be gathering that one with some ease. There was no pressure whatsoever. Not enough power behind that ball, and just look at that. It's needed a second attempt, which he wouldn't have. Well, should be dealing with that one, especially if they should score from Thursday. It would go down as an error from him.
Emmanuel Kote makes his first Premier League appearance for Asante Kotoko, this time returning from a long layoff through injury. he takes the place of the ever-improving Albert Armour, Lord Armour. So a lot is expected from Kote. Jew. Simba. Cheneboa can't get onto that ball. Was being chased down by Kote.
And that's what he wants, Prince Cheneboa. He knows, he has that pace. Knows he has the trickery as well to elude anyone. This time was Kote, who I think perhaps might not have even had a feel of the intensity of the game. All Cheneboa had to do was to just control that one, and it would have been another story.
Marfin Donzo doesn't seem to get it right. He's not really been that striker Kotoko would say has given them the numbers since arriving.
You wouldn't say he's giving them the numbers, but it's a consistency with which he's always on the team sheet. That's actually what's mind-boggling.
Enzo gives it away to Issa Yakubu, but the flag is up for offside.
I think the protest will continue. Offside, certainly, on Prince Opoku. Okay, not really seen the best out of the front three of Basake. Only stars Prince Cheneboa Kwesen has been a bit quiet. Prince Opoku has been isolated.
Amidu Aqua. Brecum Chelsea have beaten Gold Stars by 2-0 at the Golden City Park in Brecum. Aqua. Good tackle from the captain, Ata. Kwesen shows too much of the ball to Kotokos Bedu, and here is Jehu to Saka Dauda. Decides to go for goal and is straight to Asempa.
Yeah, lovely hit the Saka Dauda. When you have options as a player, usually it's just boils down to making the right decision there. I doubt hitting it from a distance was the right decision. Players making the move, there were runs being made. He just decides to go from a distance, Saka Dauda.
Albert Armour, he wins the foul. Jetia fouling Albert Armour for a Kotoko free kick.
You talk about intelligence to win a foul, and that's just it over there from Armour. Just doesn't try to win that ball, just puts his body in between Jetwa and the ball. Jetwa getting on the wrong side of Armour, shrugging him to the turf, and that was a good free kick to win there.
Albert Armour scored in Kotoko's opening Premier League win this season over Brecum Chelsea at the Golden City Park with a fantastic finish. Will he score in his first game on his return to Kumasi after that brief stint in Libya? Free kick taken. Here's Saka Dauda. Ball is cleared by Blay. Boazi. Blay. Cheneboa is fouled by Emmanuel Kote. Free kick, Holy Stars.
He just had to take that one for the team. Kote, unfortunately, he doesn't even booked there, but a good way to just hold that attack of Basake Holy Stars on Prince Tredebois.
Offside against Amidou Akwa.
It was a bit of an early run there, Amidou Akwa.
Boazis, free kick. Quayson, handball against Quayson.
It's just too obvious from Quayson. He looks a bit tired. You know, not that same energy we saw him in within the first half. Doesn't look as sharp as he will. Just look at that. Too obvious, and he should just count himself lucky to have been shown the second yellow card.
Jehu. Saka. Emmanuel Kote. Saka Dauda can't get back to Kote. Here is Boniface Blay. Shows great strength on that left-hand side of defense for Holy Stars. Blay
Was just looking to combine with Opoku. At least Opoku trying to drop a bit deeper to have a feel of the ball. He's been isolated majority of this game.
Jetia. The idea from Tredebois was to get to Quayson, but Aqua intercepts. It's Peter Amidou Akwa. It's a lovely run from Aqua. He puts one through for Albert Amoah. Albert Amoah swings in across. Asempa gets it away. Here is Jehu. Shoots. Saved by Asempa. Albert Amoah goes down. It's a fair challenge. No foul in there. Good tackle from Asante.
That was a brave tackle from Asante. Well, a couple of shots there by Kotoko.
Last season, Kotoko beat Holy Stars by 1-0 at this venue. Tredebois trying to find his way to equalize, but Kamara was first to the ball. In that game, Kotoko scored the only goal through Samuel Tinedu on the 23rd of March 2025, match day 25. And it's match day 20 here at the Baba Yara. Sambo O'Neill's goal. Skipping Kotoko in the lead here at the Baba Yara Stadium is a foul on Saka Dauda by Boniface Blay.
Yeah, again, and these two have actually enjoyed their time, you know, with the duels over there. Boniface just knew, just wasn't going to win that ball.
Quayson, you rightly said, he looked tired. He makes way for Prince Gamo. The spark with which he began the game with was virtually non-existent in the second half. Quayson, he's paid his dues. Crossed by Kote. Donzo misses. Amoah with an overhead kick, and it's a stunner. An absolute beauty on his return to the Baba Yara Stadium. What a goal! Albert Amoah doubles Kotoko's lead in magnificent fashion. Oh my word! This is an absolute beauty, a world-class finish from Albert Amoah. Kotoko 2, Holy Stars 0, and it's a wealthy from Amoah.
That's what you get from your darling boy. That's what you get from a top quality player like Amoah. Improvises. But what about that for a strike? What about that for a goal from Albert Amoah on his return? He's been looking for it. He's been missing for the entirety of his time on the pitch. But then there's that one chance, just that moment, and it's a moment of brilliance. Just doesn't even celebrate in full fashion, but just look at that. Has the club in his heart.
We're having the discussion about how competitive he's played since moving to Libya, how sharp he was going to be on his return to the Babayara, and how Kotoko can rely on him for the goals to get back their season on track in their bid to win the Premier League. And if he's got any confirmation to make on his readiness to take this team on his shoulders, that goal speaks volumes of his readiness. Those two boys play together. Dreams Johnson and Simba exchanging pleasantries as Johnson gets his time in this game for Kotoko.
But that's the goal that confirms his return. And that's why the coach spoke so profoundly of him, called him his darling boy upon his return, and he's really proven why they've been missing him. You talk about the fact that, yeah, he's not been there. We saw his runs earlier on when he came on, but that goal is a goal of a season contender.
This is how it all began for Albert Amoah. Lovely cross from Kote, nodded down, not too better contact, but how about that overhead flying kick?
Smart thinking, but it was Kote who buys himself so much time. No pressure on him, sends in the ball, but then that should have been dealt with over there, not being dealt with fully by Arthur. And just look at Amoah, just one hit. It's a sumptuous goal.
I made a point about the fact that he scored in the very first Premier League game for Kotoko this season, and whether he was going to mark his return with a goal, and he's done that in amazing fashion. Albert Amoah, that goal will make the headlines in the week coming.
Most definitely, and where to spread fast across the cheese of Kumasi, that their darling boy is back, and you would have to come and watch him week in and week out.
He's aiming for a double. I've seen him gone behind that free kick. Saka Dauda and Aqua making way for Adam Inusa, and Johnson upon almost a like for like from coach Karim Zito. Free kick Kotoko. Albert Amoah bends one, Asempa fumbles, but he makes amends.
Yeah, no, his confidence now is just, out of the roof now. Albert Amoah, after scoring that spectacular overhead kick. And that was the hit again, and Asempa nearly fumbling that. Could see Johnson trying to pounce on that. Inusa right there, both onside, making timely runs into the box to try and hit the rebound, but Asempa got it again. That's what sometimes you need from your attackers, to try and be on alert, try and win the second balls, and that's what Kotoko have done this afternoon.
Kotoko still piling pressure and aiming for the third. Some 12 more minutes before the 90. Here is Bedu. Ensu. Inusa. Ball taken over by Boniface Blay. Ensu hands the ball to Gamo.
I would say Holy Stars, they've struggled this in the second half. The first half was pretty much better, but in the second half, no grip. They barely made runs into the attacking third, and see the likes of Simba not really supplying the balls to the attackers.
Issa Yakubu, fouled by Jeu, quickly takes the free kick to Jetia. Asante. Marifin Donzo. If there's something that is keeping this guy consistent in Kotoko's lineup, it must be his work creating ethics. he doesn't stop going. He's always running for the team, defending, attacking, linking up play, but the goals ain't coming.
Yeah, it tells you the dimension with which he plays. You know, with that, he's not the striker that gets you your 15, 20 goals a season per, you know, his scoring rate, but the work rate just up there.
Johnson Smith has to make some subs. They neutralize the danger. Francis Owusu steps in for Jetia, and Simba goes out for Matthew Mensah. Those substitutions expected to add some bite, at least in the last 10 minutes for Holy Stars. Mensah and then Owusu.
More like attacking substitutions.
Attacking substitutions.
Yeah.
He's throwing everything at Kotoko. Now, so they move into a four-man attack in the last 9 minutes. That's interesting from Johnson Smith.
He's down now, and there's nothing to be scared of at this point.
And he had to go through Chiniboa. Gamo cleared by Ensu. Donzo. Here's Jeu. Too close to Asempa. It was meant for Albert Amoah.
Yeah, and he would have latched on that if there wasn't enough space for him to operate. He's been quiet though, but they'll just count on him to give you that moment of brilliance when the time arrives.
Gamo. Jetia. Issa Yakubu. Another beautiful tackle from Bedu. Amoah stays onside, but the flag is eventually up for offside against Albert Amoah.
And that's the only reason why he's not going to score his second of the day. Albert Amoah, the flag went up rightly, but I think he just made that late run. But this is where he gets dangerous, especially when there are spaces though for him to operate.
Morifin Donzo is making way for Kwame Opoku, the out of favor striker. One time a darling boy for these fans, but these days he struggled to win over their love, Kwame Opoku.
Yeah, and you'd never say he's lost his mojo. Yeah, he looks a bit off the pace, but you look at the head coach of the club, and he has you know, some players he wants to work with. You know, hard-working players up front. Without the ball, you need to press.
Here is Albert Amoah. He shoots from the distance and it's gone over the bar. Ambitious effort from Albert Amoah, desperately looking for a double to further send these fans into wild celebrations.
And he's moved a bit central now, but he's dropping deeper. Well, they're feeding him the right balls, and you see he's just trying to get one on target again.
Albert Amoah, he's got Kwame Opoku. Opoku! And Opoku scores in similar fashion like Albert Amoah. The two strikers have all scored from spectacular overhead kicks. Kwame Opoku makes an instant impact with an assist from Albert Amoah. It is game over, and Karim Zito and the rest of the Kotoko technical team amazed by this development. Opoku makes an instant impact with that bicycle kick. It's 3 for Kotoko, and Holy Stars have a very tall mountain to climb. It's fair to say it's game over, but Kwame Opoku will be excited that he makes that instant impact with this lovely goal. Great thinking from Albert Amoah.
Great thinking from Albert Amoah. And just look at that, Asempa, no man's lad, just grappling to have, you know, his hand just wipe all that one away. Just look at that, no chance. But you know, the ability to hit it onto the tip made it so difficult for Asempa. But it's Amoah again, a workaholic. Made the right decision at this point. He knew he wasn't going to score. And then in one game, having 2 overhead kicks, tell you what, That is just impressive.
And you're expecting this camaraderie, this telepathy, this partnership to yield results in the weeks to come. Don't forget, in the next 2 weeks, they have a big date here at the Baba Yara against Hearts of Oak. A game they would expect these guys to show up and score lovely goals like this. The ever-present Porcupine Tertiary have got exactly what they wanted. The goals that will help them find their voices. 3-0 up, you can take anything away from these fans.
Absolutely, you can't take anything. But you know, for Abdul Karim Zito, having two sets of attackers, you know, in Dogo Yakubu and then also Morifin Donzo, then you have the next set of attack also giving you a goal. You know, that speaks volumes of the quality he has on the bench, and it's glaring now. 3-0, and they are walking away with all 3 points.
85 minutes. Kotoko 3, Holy Stars 0. Jetia will finally take a bow, and his place will be taken by Gabriel Apia. Cheniboa. The last time Kotoko won a game here, they scored 6 goals against Bechem United. And they lead by 3-0 with 4 minutes to go against Holy Stars. Issa Yakubu, not the kind of result he expected against his former club. Yakubu was in his prime when he joined Kotoko from Liberty Professionals. Here he goes to the middle and finds Mensah with a long switch onto the right. Asante is there, but Joseph Amwa defends really well and wins the foul for Asante Kotoko. He's had a very decent game at left back, Joseph Amwa. That's a push right in the face. Kotoko have now scored 27 goals in the Premier League. Goals for the Porcupines. And they've scored 21 out of those goals at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Before this game, they have scored 18 goals here at the Baba Yara Stadium and conceded only 6. They are yet to concede today and are cruising on to a comfortable victory. What it will mean is that Kotoko will now have 22 home points from the available 35 they have now. That's the push on Bedu. Holy Stars have now conceded 20 goals away from home. That's some horrible statistics from them away from their home grounds. And it will be their 8th away defeat in 11 away games this season. They are yet to win a game away from home. They've drawn 3 times and are in the process of losing the 8th time of the season. Here is Gamo. Issa Yakubu. Issa with a through ball to Gamo. Flag goes up. Offside against Gabriel Appiah. Gamo with the first effort. Another one from Matthew Mensah. But even before Appiah could make the move, the flag had gone up against him. That's the confirmation of additional time. We are doing 5 minutes of additional time. It's Kotoko 3, Holy Stars 0. Kotoko will next travel to Pando to play Heart of Lions on match day 21. And Holy Stars have a date with Chelsea. Amwa displaying great sportsmanship. Trying to tie that band on the wrist for the Holy Stars player. These two guys have worked really well in midfield. They seem to be striking some cordiality. Second time they are playing together in a starting lineup. Red-eyed, dejected face for the Holy Stars bench. A while ago was Kotoko's president of the Allegiance, George Kennedy, in the dark shades and an outfit, dark outfit in the VVIP. And those two goes by Amwa and Opoku. Must have delighted the legend, who scored some beautiful goals during his playing days in the 80s at this venue. Kotoko will move second on the league table with 35 points. If it stays this way, Holy Stars will drop down to the 15th position if it stays this way. Here is Jehu. He's put up a very solid performance this afternoon. Now here is Adam Inusa. Nimble-footed, skillful, brilliant. Inusa bends one, is blocked by Boazi. Johnson sets up Bedu. Bedu shoots and is blocked by the captain Arta. It falls to Joseph Amwa. Amwa finds Bedu. Bedu to Samba. Samba to Kote. Lovely pass and play from Asante Kotoko. Under no pressure, they are living in a world of their own with those 3 goals, keeping them in a comfortable lead. Amwa, Samba, Bedu, Amwa, Jehu, Inusa. Kotoko still hangs on. Here is Albert Amwa. Boniface Blay has come up worse after that tackle. Injury concerns for the Holy Stars left back Boniface Blay. He had gone in with a very harsh challenge on Adam Inusa, only to come up worse. Six home wins. It will be for Kotoko. Flag is up. Inusa is offside. But he must keep his composure. He must be calm. He wanted to overreact after that push on him by Blay. One to the final seconds of stoppage time. It's Kotoko 3. Holy Stars 0. Back to winning ways after 3 games without a win. Asante, Gamo, Appiah, Asante. Boise. Blay. That's awkward. Awkward from Blay, and that should be it. Referee Nathan Anafo has taken a good look at his watch, and I get the feeling we might just be wrapping up now. All eyes on Anafo as he takes another look at his watch. Samba O'Neill gets the ball into Holy Stars territory. Boise finds Asempa. Back to Boise. Referee takes the whistle to his lips. Another look at his watch. Now he says game on because Asante has got possession. It's Issa Yakubu now. Captain Arta. Mensah loses out to Jehu. That's the final whistle. Kotoko back to winning ways after going 3 games without a win and without scoring in their last 2. They return to their fortress at the Baba Yara to beat Holy Stars by 3-0. 2 wonderful goals from spectacular overhead kicks from Albert Amwa, who returns from Libya on a long stint with Kotoko. Kwame Opoku putting the ice on the cake with another overhead kick after Samba O'Neill had opened the scoring through a first half penalty. It's a dominant vintage performance from Asante Kotoko that moves them to second on the league log. Hubert Jehu crowns the day with a man of the match performance. Total display that would delight Coach Abdul Karim Zito. For Kotoko fans, their happiness will be in the fact that their darling boy Albert Amo has returned, and he's returned in style. Full time, Asante Kotoko 3, Holy Stars 0.
In the heart of
So an exhilarating performance after 90 minutes ends. Kotoko not only 3 points, but then they managed to score 3 goals past Basake, Holy Stars. Samba O'Neill, Kwame Poku, and then also Albert Amo upon his return, getting the goals for Kumase Asante Kotoko. And it's now time to have take the thoughts of the coaches. I'm now here with a losing coach, Coach Johnson Smith. Coach, commiserations.
Thank you very much.
A tough game for you, but how would you describe this game?
Oh, it's not a bad game because the performance of the Kotoko boys weren't bad. Because we plan to win the match. We plan to win the match, but it's unfortunate it came this way.
But how would you rate the performance of this team? We saw tactically you struggled. In the first 20-25 minutes, you are alive. After that, nothing from your attacking lineup.
Yes, I don't know. We don't have real attackers. That's why. Because you can see from behind, you can see our attackers are slow and old. That's why.
Thank you very much. Wishing you a safe journey back to the Western region. So that's the head coach of Basake Holy Stars, Johnson Smith, after his side succumbed to a 3-0 defeat at the hand of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. But then the other manager obviously will be happy, talking about the coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Abdul Karim Zito. And I saw him sharing some laughs with his boys. Coach, how happy are you? You're back to winning ways after 3 games without getting a win.
I'm more than happy that we've won today. It's been long, for so many weeks, trying everything possible to win a game. But I'm very happy today. We've been able to score 3 beautiful goals. I'm very happy.
But after those frustrating games against Bekum Chelsea here, and then also away to the Dance Park where you believe you should have won, you think that's just the best way to respond?
Well, we responded against Bibini Gold Stars. We were even faster than today. Yes, you know, the weather is too distant today, more than last week. And it's not easy playing in such weather. Yes, I think it's continuation of what happened at BBNE. But the difference here is we were more focused in goal scoring than BBNE. Because it wasn't easy at BBNE. But we do all the attacking, we do everything. I think today we were better in goal scoring than we played in BBNE. So I'm very happy at the end of the day, we've started by 3 goals.
Samba scored for you, but then I think the highlight for you will be Albert Amwa coming back. You called him your darling boy. He scored, he assisted. What do you make of his performance?
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. He announced his coming back with these 2 beautiful play, scoring 1 and assisting 1. So at the end of the day, you tell me I'm very happy he's back to help the club.
But then you have also another striker from the bench in Kwame Poku also coming on to score. Does that give you headache going into the other games?
Before, no, I don't have any headache. I did the change not because they didn't play well. You understand me? It's like I had a lot of thinking, how am I going to rearrange my team without strikers, without this or without that. But at the end of the day, I think gradually we are focused, and we are also still doing everything possible to win the game. And we did it. So I'm very happy with him. And then he announced he's coming by scoring a goal and then assisting, which is very good.
But with this win, you still move within 8 points because Mediama also won their game. Do you still think winning the league is possible?
It's possible.
It's possible.
Until it reaches a point where you can say it's not possible. It is not over until it's over.
Thank you very much. Congratulations once again. So that's the head coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Abdul Karim Zito. His side scored 3 times in their game against Basake Holy Stars. And it's now time to speak to the most valuable player in the game. And it went to Kotoko midfielder Hubert Jiu. Hubert, congratulations. Who game is saying?
I guess a game they're tough because they are also a good side. So we decided to win this game at all costs. Yeah.
Now performance in midfield is only Bedu and only Hilary Lord a double up previously. But what's your partnership now and what's your performance? How has it been for you? What's your personally?
Yeah, I say training. I'm because they say I say Ajeli. Yeah, until Obiel in the position. You know, I'm it more bonus.
Now Albert Amoakoye, Waba. You've had a chance to play with him. Who performance the same? Shego or my assist? Who performance the same?
Yeah, only the minimum that I do not know about say. Yeah, until the hands will be piano, piano, or convert yamo.
Interesting. See, partnership Ben as who person owning them building going forward. Only Albert Amoa.
Yeah, going forward, you know, like I say, I was a meeting man boss. I'm so many assist, and I do also I was a young team shoot to share. No one American.
Now most person who win the league, no.
Sure. A person win the game,
okay, right. Thank you very much. Right. That's the man of the match in our game. The most valuable player being adjudged to Hubert Jiu, the number 12 for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And those are live pictures highlight of the game we just witnessed. I'm still here with Jeffrey Asari, and I'll be taking his thoughts. Jeffrey, what a game we witnessed. Exhilarating performance by the Porcupine Warriors, and it looks like after these match days, 3 match days without winning, they just responded with some style.
Yes, also because of the quality of stars available to the coach, because clearly, I mean, Albert Amwa comes on. This is his first match after returning from Libya. He comes on, wonderful, top-class performance, the strike. First of all, the strike, how did he come about? It was Emmanuel Kote who came on for Lodamwa. Kote to the captain, Samba O'Neill. Samba O'Neill back to Kote. And then you realize that he, Albert Amwa, because he was brilliant, he was making sure he was timing the run to wait for the Kote's cross. And when the cross came, what a brilliant that kick from him, overhead, wonderful overhead kick from him. Then you have Abetamwa again, now assisting Kwame Poku's goal. Now Abetamwa's presence is going to create more competition for the likes of Kwame Poku and Donzo. So the Kwame Poku has to also start proving and making a statement. That's what Abetamwa's presence is going to create. So by doing that, it's pushing Kwame Poku, Borofin Donzo, Dogo to up their game.
But we saw the setup. We saw Donzo start together with Dogo Yakubu.
Yeah.
Then he takes both of them off, brings on Albert Amwa before the second half starts, and then later brings on Kwame Poku. And you have the two substitute strikers getting the goals. Would that give the coach a lot to worry about? If you were the coach, how would you manage this situation?
No, it's good for the coach. The competition is good. It brings the best out of the players. When the players go onto the field, they know that if I fail to deliver or I'm unable to deliver, there is somebody on the bench that will come in. When delivers, I have to be on the bench for a longer period. So it creates competition and also makes it possible for the players to make sure that they are taking responsibility for the reason why they're on the field of play.
But for Basake All Stars, after this defeat, they slap back into the red zone. How do they recover from this?
Well, it's by beating Brekum Chelsea. That's their next home game. You have to just pick that 3 points and then try and grind some away result, just like they did against Adriana and then Mediama. They should try to do that. Pick all home 3 points. Look, Mediama will be going there. Adriana will be going there. So at least they'll start from Chelsea and then try and win all home games and pick some valuable away points. Then they can survive it.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey Asari.
It's always a pleasure.
That's where we wrap up on this week's edition of the GPL. And it was the match day 20 fixture between Kumasi Asante Kotoko and then also Basake Holy Stars. We're live on Unia TV as well as on TV3 and then also on at the SAT Plus. My name is Joseph Kukwede. It's always a pleasure to come your way with this presentation. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.